Yo, what's good, everybody? Yeah. What's up, everyone? Welcome into the live stream for today. We are going to be answering as many questions as possible before we skedaddle our way out of here. I appreciate everyone for joining in super early. Always awesome to see that there's this many people that are waiting to hear me talk, which is crazy. So what's up, everyone? Hopefully everyone's having a good week so far. We are going to have a great Thursday today. Thursday Night Football seems like a pretty interesting game tonight. Lions versus Packers. Obviously a rematch from week 18 last year, and it's going to be fun. So let's ride, baby. Broncos country, let's ride. So hopefully, what's up, everyone? What's up, Spock? What's up, Semper Fi? What's up, Jay? What's up, Smooth Criminal? What's up, Mr. 44 MSU? What's up, everyone? What's up, Cold Cuts? How you guys doing? What's up, Dave? How you doing? What's up, Legendary One? I listen to this man while I'm working. The funniest shit he says are very memorable, down to earth. Thank you, man. Thank you, Legendary One. I really appreciate that. What's up, Silver? How you doing, brother? All right. Real quick, I'm just going to make a poll because I see all these other people doing this shit in chat, right? That everyone does a poll, and it's like, did you hit the like yet? And then it makes people hit the like button, I think. So we're just going to do that from now on. We have 6 likes on the stream so far. That is too damn low. It needs to be at least 500 by now. So there we go. Let's start answering questions here. I love all you guys. What's up? Thank you guys for watching the stream. We've dilly-dallied for too long. It's already been 2 minutes, right? People are going to click off, so let's get into it. Joe Castles, thank you for the super chat, my man. I really appreciate you. Elijah Moore, Watson, Dotson, or London? Now, that is a tough question, right? We got Christian Watson in his debut game of the 2023 NFL season, right? Christian Watson was on fire last season, had a lot of big games. But the question is, will he get it done with Jordan Love? My best guess would be yes. He will get it done with Jordan Love because Jordan Love Me Tender, Love Me Sweet has been on fire so far this season. I am firing up Christian Watson with confidence in this question. I like Elijah Moore, and I think this Browns offense might start humming at a really high rate, might start looking incredibly good week in and week out. And Elijah Moore does look like he's getting some heavy usage in this offense. But at the end of the day, let's go with Christian Watson. I'm still not fully out on Jahan Dotson. I'm still not fully out on Drizzy Drake London. But Christian Watson tonight, good spot against the Lions defense. We're going to roll with him. So thank you for the super chat. Daniel Capskinen, thank you for the super chat, my man. Raiders, new to the show, Waller or Musgrave. Thank you for the super chat, man. So for me, I get that Darren Waller has been shitting the bed, right? I get that Darren Waller isn't playing up to my expectations. The Giants as a whole are not playing up to my expectations. And obviously that does make me a little bit worried, right? I am not as confident in the Giants as I was if you asked me 4 weeks ago before the NFL season started. But I'm not ready to full-on jump off the bandwagon yet, right? They had a bad game against the Cowboys, a bad game against the 49ers. Their offense looked fine against the Cardinals, so they have a all right matchup this week. I'm not saying that they're going to beat the shit out of the Seattle Seahawks, but it's not that crazy of a matchup. So I'm going Darren Waller. I like Luke Musgrave, and I actually do think that the addition of Christian Watson into this offense with Aaron Jones is really going to open the field up for a guy like Luke Musgrave to start having some good games. But right now, I just have to play Darren Waller. I'm not panicking just yet. Again, am I more worried than I was at the beginning of the season? Yes, I am more worried right now than I was just a couple of days ago or just a couple of weeks ago. But I'm not quitting on a guy that is as talented as Darren Waller. So we're going Darren Waller this week. Faux show. All righty. Next question here. Thank you for the super chat again. Gibbs or Miles Sanders? Personally, I'm going to play Miles Sanders. Now, I like Jahmyr Gibbs. I am a Jahmyr Gibbs stan. I was banging the drum for Jahmyr Gibbs virtually all offseason, right? If you guys were here, and of course my camera goes out of fucking focus because why wouldn't it? But if you guys remember during the fantasy football offseason, if you were here, I was talking so highly on Jahmyr Gibbs. And I still think he has what it takes to be a must-start running back in fantasy football. But right now, I think I'd rather just lean with Miles Sanders. I think Miles Sanders is just the safer option, if I'm being honest with you, at this point compared to Gibbs. Xavier, thank you for the super chat, my man. Appreciate you. Drop one Algier or Warren and start Waller or Laporta. So these are both good questions. Personally, if I had to cut someone, I think I would cut Tyler Algier because I think with Bijan being healthy, there is virtually a 0% chance that Tyler Algier ever overtakes Bijan Robinson, right? There is no way in hell that Bijan Robinson is going to lose the starting running back job on the Atlanta Falcons. But there is a way to where, Najee does bad and Najee gets benched, and then we start seeing Jaylen Warren. So I think I'd rather hold Jaylen Warren and then Waller or Laporta. I'm going to give you two answers to this, right? If you want to guarantee yourself 12 plus points, more than likely tonight, go with Laporta. If you're hunting for some insane upside, go with Waller. At this point, though, my confidence lies with Laporta, so I'd go with Laporta over Waller, and then I'm dropping Tyler Algier. Next question here. Again, I still think Waller's going to be just fine this week, and I'm not panicking yet, but I think Laporta's the safer bet over Waller. Mac, thank you for the super chat, my man. I really appreciate you. All the time. What's up, Silver Rapture? How you doing, my man? All right, so Mac says, Goff, Geno, or Danny Dimes. Also, would you start Thomas, Sutton, Palmer, or Christian Watson? That's two great questions here for us. So Goff, Geno, or Daniel Jones. Goff is going up against the Packers. The Packers tonight, I believe I read a report that Jari Alexander, their best player defensively, in my humble opinion, is out. He is out. So I think that we're going to see a fine game out of Goff, but I'm going Geno up against a not-so-hot Giants defense. I think Daniel Jones will be fine, but I would personally lean with Geno Smith. I think Geno is going to have a pretty big game this week. And then would I start Thomas, Sutton, Palmer, or Watson? I think you have four pretty good options, but I'm going Christian Watson tonight. I think they wouldn't have brought him back if he wasn't fully healthy. I think that Christian Watson is in for a relatively big show like the fucking WWE wrestler tonight. So we're going to go Geno Smith and Christian Watson. Jay, what's up, my man? How does Montgomery do today? I'm nervous to play him. I think Montgomery's a pretty safe option. I don't think the Lions would have brought him back on a short week, right? He got hurt 2 weeks ago, missed last week, and it's Thursday. They, in my opinion, would not have brought him back on a short week if they were in danger of believing that, he's going to be able to get hurt again, this, that, and the other thing, right? At least in my opinion, right? I think Dan Campbell is a player's coach. At least that's what it appears from all the interviews I've seen, from Hard Knocks, all that. He's not just rolling David Montgomery out there on a fucking stretcher in week 4 to get him hurt, right? He's playing David Montgomery because David Montgomery's good to go. So I think David Montgomery's a pretty safe bet. I think he could find the end zone and score at upwards of like 20 points. He's a safe bet to get you 10 points. His upside's obviously limited by Jahmyr Gibbs. It's going to be interesting to see how they utilize Gibbs and Montgomery together, knowing that we saw Gibbs with the full utilization of the workload last week. But again, I still do really think they're going to do the just the tip technique with Jahmyr Gibbs. It takes a couple of weeks for them to fully roll him out. So I'm pretty confident in David Montgomery tonight. I'm playing him in a majority of the leagues that I have him. So if that gives you confidence, I hope it does. Jay, thank you for the super chat. Trojan, thank you for the super chat. Half PPR. Nick, we doing Love or Richardson this week? I like both of these guys. I think Love's going to have a really good game up against the Detroit Lions, but ultimately, Anthony Richardson appears to be good to go. Now, I am going to Google it to read the report to you just so that we can make sure he's 100% playing, because then you're shit out of luck, right, if he doesn't. Because Jordan Love plays tonight, so let's pull up Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson concussion practiced in full on Thursday. Basically, as close to a guarantee as you can get that he's going to play. So we are going to go with Anthony Richardson. We've seen it in week 1 and in week 2 before he even got hurt. This man was bending the defense over. Anthony Richardson looks like the best rookie quarterback, in my opinion. Him and CJ Stroud are clearly the best right now. The rushing upside's insane. He's got Michael Pittman. Josh Downs is really sprouting like a beautiful butterfly. So I'm going Anthony Richardson, even though I love Jordan Love this week. Anthony Richardson is your answer there, Mr. Trojan. Smooth Criminal, thank you for the super chat, my man. 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 flex league. Who do I start? Your quarterback is Josh Allen. So obviously you're just going with that, Josh Allen. Your running backs are Aaron Jones, Stevenson, Ford, and Hall. Your receivers are Diggs, Addison, Flowers, Hopkins. Your tight ends are Muth and Hunter Henry. All right, I got you. I'm going to go running back. You have to lock Aaron Jones in. Don't try to galaxy brain yourself out of Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is a locked and loaded must play every single week he's on the field. We've seen AJ do it. He doesn't have what it takes to take over. So Aaron Jones. Then we are going to go with Ramondre Stevenson. I'm starting to want to almost consider, and I am going to pull up my rankings real quick because it is close to me between Stevenson and Ford. I'm starting to really fall out of love with Stevenson because of how much they fucking continue to use Ezekiel Elliott for no reason. We all know Zeke is nowhere near as good as Stevenson, but I have Stevenson ranked as my running back number 17, and then I have Ford ranked as running back 19. So we're going Stevenson. For your receivers, you're obviously playing Diggs. You're obviously playing Addison. So this actually works out perfectly. I like Flowers this week, but I think you're going to go Aaron Jones, Stevenson, Diggs, Addison, and then you're going to go with Ford in the flex. And then for your tight end, you are going to go with Hunter Henry. So again, Josh Allen, Aaron Jones, Stevenson, Diggs, Addison, Ford, and Hunter Henry. Thank you for the super chat. Cold Cuts, thank you for the super chat as well. Starting running backs are Bijan and Mostert. That's beautiful. Receivers, CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Smith, Sam Laporta, and Evans at the flex. Bench, Hall, Lockett, Brian Robinson, Pickens, Zeke, Algier, Quentin Johnston. Any moves? All right. So I would personally, now, anyone who is newer to football or anyone that doesn't remember what normally occurs in these Saints versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers games, there is normally what I would only describe as like a straight up WWE SmackDown versus Raw video game fight between Marshawn Lattimore and Mike Evans like every single time they play. And Marshawn Lattimore puts Mike Evans in his back pocket. He locks him up a ton. So if I'm being honest with you, I have Mike Evans ranked, I think, fairly this week. But in a lot of situations where you have other players like Lockett, right, these skilled wide receivers with, sure, I get the downside of Lockett is pretty low, but there's also a chance that Mike Evans and Lattimore go at it like Peter Griffin and the chicken. So we're going to go with, instead of Mike Evans, you're going to take Mike Evans out, throw him on the bench for the week. Next week, you can throw him back in if you want. Unless they have a bye. They might have a bye week 5. But Tyler Lockett in my pocket is going into the flex. You're going to go Bijan, Mostert, CD, Devontae Smith, Laporta, and Tyler Lockett. I like Quentin Johnston. I hope we see a lot of him this week, and then it'll be more promising to start him going forward. None of those other guys on your bench, I think, would crack the lineup, right? You're never playing fucking Brian Robinson over Mostert or Bijan at this point. So we're going to lean with replacing Evans with Hall, and that's all you got to do. Tyler Sperry, what's up, my man? Thank you for the super chat. I always appreciate you a ton. Burrow, Fields, or Goff to start Goff versus Alexander. Okay. I would personally go with Joe Burrow this week, if I'm being honest with you. I get that Joe Burrow has been very disappointing. I get it. But if there was ever a matchup for him to do it, it would be against the Titans. The Titans defense, I know me and Spock were joking about this last week. Spock does not like the term pass funnel, but it's true. That's a defense that up against the pass is soft as baby shit. They're incredibly bad up against the pass. And guess what? Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, hopefully Irv Smith back. This is an offense that knows how to play ball. This is an offense that, in my opinion, is going to bounce back in a big way. I just went, goddamn. This webcam is dog shit, even though I paid $200 for it. So we are going to go with Burrow in this situation. If you want the safe points, right, if you're like, oh, I need a guaranteed 15 points, then you can just go with Goff because there's obviously a chance that Burrow shits the bed. But I would lean Burrow. Again, the matchup is too good, in my opinion, to sit him. Thank you for the super chat, Tyler. I'm going with Burrow. I hope Fields has a great game against Denver, but right now he needs to sit on the bench until I see him. Ashton Martin, skirt. Thank you for the super chat. Ashton's question was, oops, I messed up with the super chat. It's okay. Just ask your question in the chat, Ashton, and I will answer it for you. Drop your question in the chat and I'll answer it next. Dave, thank you for the super chat, my man. Just so you guys know, I also answer regular questions. I just get through all the super chats first and then we hop into the regular questions. Hit that like button if you guys have enjoyed. It really does help me out a ton. So Dave says, I need 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a flex. He has Stevenson, Mostert, Bijan, Jacobs, Ridley, Waddle, Ayuk, and A.J. Brown. Holy fuck, Dave, man. I don't say that in a bad way. Your team is looking cracked. Your team has a lot of players, and this is going to be a tough one. Bijan, lock him in. You're never sitting Bijan. You're also not sitting Mostert. So you're going Bijan, you're going Mostert. At receiver, you have to play Ridley. You have to play A.J. Brown. So the question at hand here is, are we playing Waddle, Ayuk, or Josh Jacobs at the flex? I like Ayuk, but I think Ayuk's fallen out of that equation. You're going to have 2 Dolphins guys in at once, but I don't care. I hope Jacobs bounces back. I hope Jacobs has a huge game, but we're going Raheem the Dream Mostert. The Bills defense is garbage against the run. We're going Bijan, insta-lock in the lineup in London. Ridley in London. We're going Waddle and A.J. Brown. That's a really tough question. Mostert, Bijan, Ridley, Waddle, A.J. Brown. Thank you for the super chat. Tyler says, oh, sorry, nerves to start Goff. Okay, I got you now. So you're nervous to start Goff. Yeah, but Alexander isn't going to play this weekend, which is good, or tonight, which is good, but I definitely think I would lean with Burrow. I'm nervous about Burrow if I'm calling a spade, right? I'm not trying to tell you that I have full confidence in Joe Burrow, but I think this is going to be his bounce back game. So I'm going with Burrow over Goff personally, as well as your other option that you had listed there, which was Fields. Smooth Criminal says, Gabe Davis or Drake London rest of season? I think, look, if I was to try to rank these guys, I think I would rank Drake London ahead, because I think there's a chance that Drake London and this Falcons offense figures things out. Maybe they're able to throw the ball more. But if I'm being honest with you, I'd rather hold Gabe Davis, because while I know Gabe Davis is very up and down, in and out, roller coaster ride weekly, you can play Gabe Davis every single fucking week, right? His down games, he might get 4 points. Drake London's down game is 0 points. So I would much rather hold Gabe Davis personally, if I'm being honest with you. I think Gabe Davis is really starting to look good. And again, while I don't have him ranked super highly this week, I still think Gabe Davis is going to have a pretty decent showing. So back onto Mr. Ashton Martin, and then we'll get onto Anonymous and the rest of you guys. Ashton Martin's question was, I'm not going to put it up on the screen, but I can still read it. I need 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, and 1 flex in full PPR. He has Ridley, Flowers, Pickens. I'm just going to put it on the other screen, like right in front of me, so I can actually see it better. 2 running backs, 2 receivers, and a flex. Ridley, Flowers, Pickens, Myers, Dobbs. His running backs are Jacobs, CMC, Kyron Williams, and Montgomery. Jesus, man. That's a good team. So I would go Jacobs and CMC. You have to lock in CMC. I got Jacobs over Kyron. So Jacobs and CMC at running back. Your receivers are going to be Ridley and Flowers. And then your flex is going to be Kyron Williams. That was a little bit easier than I thought it was going to be, because while I do like Jacoby Myers and I do like Dobbs, I think with the return of Watson, Dobbs kind of goes down the gutter a little bit. So I'm going to go Ridley, Flowers, Jacobs, CMC, and Kyron Williams. Thank you for the super chat, Ashton. I greatly appreciate you. And then Smooth Criminal, again, your answer is Gabe Davis. Anonymous says, half PPR, Christian Watson, Javonte Williams, B-Rob, Jacoby, 2 flexes, and 1 running back. Thank you for the super chat. Brian Robinson, I think, is going to bounce back after a poor performance last week. Now, it wasn't actually a poor performance on the field, because if you watch the game, he had 10 carries for 70 yards. 7 yards a clip, very good, which is why I think the Buffalo Bills are going to get ran on heavily by Mostert. So, sure, down game on the stat sheet, but he looked good out there. So I think he's going to bounce back against Philly, but I don't think it's going to be this huge game. You got to play Javonte against the Bears. He's a lock. The Bears defense is garbage. So we're going to go with Javonte. We're going to go Christian Watson, and we are going to go with Jacoby Myers. I like Jacoby Myers a ton. Love Christian Watson. And then the running backs got to be Javonte. Jay, thank you for the super chat. Half PPR. Pick 2 running backs, 1 wide receiver, and a flex, please. Thank you for the super chat. Madison, Montgomery, Jerome Ford, Cortland Sutton, Gabe Davis also traded Higgins in the Pats defense for Montgomery and Ford. I'll answer your question first, the first question, and then I'll answer the trade question. So, again, half PPR, 2 running backs, 1 receiver, and a flex. So for your running backs, you are going to go with Montgomery, and you are going to go with Jerome Ford. For your receiver, you are going to go with Cortland Sutton. And then for your flex, you're going to go with, I'd go Madison over Gabe Davis. So you're going to go Madison, Montgomery, Ford, and Cortland Sutton. You also traded Higgins and the Pats D for Montgomery and Ford. I like that. I think Montgomery's a start-worthy asset weekly, and I think that Jerome Ford looks like a potential league-winning running back. So again, Madison, Montgomery, Ford, and then you're going to go Sutton, and then I like that trade a lot. Thank you guys for all the super chats. I'm trying to get to all of them. I really appreciate all you guys. I'm trying to get to the regular chats as well. Dorothy, thank you for the super chat. Let me see if Dorothy's question is in chat. Thank you very much. I appreciate you, Dorothy. Chat having a spaz attack right now. All right, let's see. There we go. Hold on, Nick. I sent 10, but didn't send the message. Okay. Just send the message in chat, and I will get to your question in just a couple seconds. I'm going to keep refreshing, searching for your name. I really appreciate the super chat. What's up, Taste of Skittles, my man? What's up, Samuel? New Life Cowboys, what's up, my man? I really appreciate you stopping by every single Thursday. Seems like you're here every Thursday and Sunday as well. I really appreciate you. I appreciate all you guys, whether you're new or not. It means the world to me. It's crazy to me that, again, I'm not trying to get like all sentimental and shit, but it is crazy to me that it's 7 o'clock on a Thursday. There's 200 people that watch me talk about football. So, New Life Cowboys, what's up, Notorious? What's up, my man? I really appreciate you. A-Chain or Addison for the flex, and then Musgrave or Waller? Great question. A-Chain's a guy that I think you probably have to start in most situations just because he's on fire. I talk about this all the time, right? There's guys that are on fire NBA Jam style. You just got to keep playing them, right? This guy literally eviscerated the Broncos defense. But I'm going Addison. He's got a good matchup against the Panthers. That game has the makings of a higher scoring one. And Addison's just been so safe. I'm riding with Addison. I'm not sitting him at this point. Again, I like A-Chain, but I'm going Addison. So Addison over A-Chain, and then Musgrave or Waller. Again, I get people are kind of tired of Darren Waller at this point, but I would personally go with Darren Waller at this point. Musgrave's going to be out there. I think the addition of Watson's going to actually help him out a ton. But right now, Darren Waller is the clear answer for me over Musgrave. I think Waller bounces back up against a not-so-hot Seattle defense. So Addison and Waller for Mr. New Life Cowboys. Thank you for the super chat. I'm going to check if Dorothy asked the question, so I can answer that real quick, and then we'll get to this one. Thank you again to everyone. Baker, Henry, Montgomery, Goff, Fields, or Geno, Nico Collins, Smith, or Watson. No, it's all good. It's all good. You didn't mess up. I get it. Super chatting, I've never super chatted in my life, so I have no idea how it works, but it does seem to be a little bit of a complicated thing. So you got a couple of questions here. I assume that is Barkley, Henry, or Montgomery, Goff, Fields, or Geno, Nico Collins, Smith, or Watson. Okay. So for your running backs, if you can only play one, I'm playing Barkley, assuming he plays. If he doesn't play, I'm playing Henry. If you need two, go Barkley and Henry. For your quarterback, Goff, Fields, or Geno, I'm going Geno. For your receiver, Devontae Smith, Watson, or Nico Collins, I would go Devontae Smith. And then your other question was Pacheco or Pierce, Nico Collins, or Nakua. I would go with Nakua, and then I would go with Pacheco. So again, to go back over one more time, and you could just go back in the stream like a couple seconds to get the answer again. So it's Pacheco, Nakua. It is Pacheco, Nakua, Barkley, and Henry. If you can only play one, I'm playing Barkley. And then it's Geno, and then it's Devontae Smith. And if you need two, it's Devontae Smith and Watson. Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate you. Jason, thank you for the super chat as well. I really appreciate all you guys. The Canadian dollars coming in here. Shout out to Canada, eh? Monty, Ramondre Stevenson, Myers need one running back and one flex half PPR. Monte, Ramondre Stevenson, Myers need one running back and one flex half PPR. Oof. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Now, the fact that we don't know if Jimmy G is going to play or not does kind of weigh my opinion here because it might be Brian Hoyer. I would go Ramondre Stevenson and Montgomery. And then once Jimmy G comes back, you're going to be able to play Myers like every single week. So Monte bitch, I feel like Monty and Ramondre Stevenson for me. Next question here from OP Jester Fox says start sit quarterback Jordan Love. Dak. His running backs are Etienne, Mixon, James Cook, Gibbs, receivers Evans, Cooper, Wilson, Puka, Quentin Johnston. His tight end is Kelsey and Laporta. Damn, these people have Kelsey and Laporta on the team. That's crazy. Bengals or Browns? All right, easy. Your quarterback is Love. Your two running backs are going to be Etienne and James Cook. Your receivers are going to be Amari Cooper and Puka Nacua. If you need a third receiver, you are going to go with Evans. Your tight end is Kelsey. Your defense is going to be the Browns. And if you need a flex, I'm going Mixon. So again, Jordan Love, Etienne, James Cook. Then Cooper and Puka. If you need a third receiver, it's Evans. Your tight end is Kelsey. Your defense is the Browns. And your flex is going to be Mixon. I'm just going to type it in the chat real quick because this is kind of a loaded question. So Love, Etienne, Cook, Cooper, Puka. If you need a third receiver, be Evans. Your flex is Mixon. Your tight end is Kelsey. And your defense is the Browns. Put that in the chat for you because that was kind of a loaded question. Ali, thank you for the super chat again, OP Jester Fox. Ali Cadra, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the Canadian dollars. Another Canadian, eh? Running backs, Ramondre. It's crazy, real quick. Then we're going to get back in the questions because I know there's a lot of questions here. Crazy that people watch from all over the world, even though a lot of people watch football in Canada. Running backs, Ramondre, Connor, McCaffrey. Receivers are Gabe Davis, Christian Watson, Judy. Who are we starting and who are we flexing? All right. You got a lot of options. At running back, you cannot sit McCaffrey. You lock him in. You're playing Ramondre. So you're going McCaffrey and Ramondre. Your receivers are going to be Christian Watson and Jacoby Myers. And at the flex, we're going Gabe Davis. So we're going, because I like James Conner. I don't know how people are going to roll him out there against the 49ers. I hope he does good for you guys, but that fucking matchup's disgusting. So we're going McCaffrey, we're going Ramondre, we're going Watson, we're going Myers, and our flex is going to be Gabe Davis. If you need a third receiver, then I would play Judy. So again, McCaffrey, Ramondre, Watson, Myers, and your flex is going to be Gabe Davis. Thank you for the super chat. Again, PV, thank you for the super chat. Says, got offered Dameon Pierce and Gabe Davis for Montgomery. That's a great trade. Other running backs are C-Mac and Breece Hall. What do you think? I think that's great. I think that is great. Got offered Dameon Pierce and Gabe Davis for Montgomery. I think at that point, I would just do it. Again, I'm a Dameon Pierce stan, but the fucking offensive line keeps getting hurt. They can't stay healthy. They can throw the ball in Houston. They can't run. So if you're getting Montgomery, I would do that. And again, like Gabe Davis, he's a fine piece, but he's very up and down weekly. I would do that for David Montgomery for sure. Especially since you have Breece Hall, dude. Breece Hall is such a disaster. I feel so bad for everyone that is Breece Hall, including myself. I drafted Breece Hall as well, and I feel like an idiot. You hate to see it. I didn't think that Aaron Rodgers would get hurt. Thank you, Everton. I bought a super chat. I'm 0-3. You got it this week, though. You got Justin Fields, Anthony Richardson, Olave, Ridley, Bijan Robinson, Swift, Kelsey, Lockett, Collins, Rashad White, Laporta, Madison, Taylor. Your team looks good. I don't know how that's 0-3, but it's probably just playing Fields every week, which has bent you over a table. So I got you. I'm going to get you right here. We're winning this week, Mr. Everton. I got you, fam. I love the name Everton, by the way. I think that's a soccer team. Pause. Like, I hope you didn't take it that way. I just like the name. It's a cool name. There needs to be a fucking delay on these streams so I could just bleep out what I say and then just beep and then just start talking again. Even though there is a delay, I just don't know how to do that. So we're going Anthony Richardson. We're going Ridley and Olave. We are going Bijan. Okay. Wait. So your team looks correct. It would be Anthony Richardson. It would be Olave and Ridley at receiver. It would be Bijan and Swift at running back. It would be Kelsey at tight end. And then your flex would be Tyler Lockett. Very simple. Richardson, Olave, Ridley. Those are your two receivers. Your quarterbacks, Richardson. Your running backs are Bijan and Swift. Your tight end is Kelsey. Your flex is Lockett. And if for some reason you need a third receiver, then you're going Collins. Trade Sam Laporta off of your team to another team because you can't play Laporta and Kelsey together. Gorilla Kid, my man, what's up? Thank you for the super chat. 2 wide receivers / flex. Lockett, Watson, Puka, Flowers, Palmer, Ford. That's a good-ass question. Puka and Watson, lock them in. And then we are going to go Puka, Watson, and then we're going to go it's between Ford and Lockett and Palmer. Puka, we're going Puka, Watson, and we're going Jerome Ford. Lock it in. Puka, Watson, Jerome Ford. There you go. Breece Hall or Javonte Williams rest of season. To be honest with you, if for some reason we somehow see that the Jets trade for a quarterback, which at this point I don't think is going to actually happen, then the answer would be Breece Hall. But based upon what we see right now, I get the Broncos are a dumpster fire, but at least they've committed to Javonte Williams. So I would lean Javonte Williams over Breece Hall. Kathy, thank you for the super chat. I believe you super chatted last week. I appreciate you. Lamb or Montgomery for the flex, A-Chain or Ford for the running back. Thanks for all the help. No problem. I love Devin A-Chain, and I look fucking like Casper the Ghost right now because I pulled up the Patreon on the other screen, answer some questions on there. So I'm going to minimize that for a second and then answer those questions after I'm done answering all these questions. But for you, we're going Ford over A-Chain, even though I love A-Chain. Ford has just been on fire. You can't fucking sit that. You can't sit it. Ford, and then Lamb or Montgomery. I think Lamb has kind of a down game this week, if I'm being honest with you. But there's no way I'm playing Montgomery over Lamb, so I think Lamb's pretty safe weekly. So I'm going Lamb, and then I'm going with Jerome Ford. I appreciate all of these super chats here. Felix, thank you for the super chat. What's up, brother? What's up, my man? I really appreciate you. And again, we're fucking out of focus. Sorry for cursing so much, but it does get annoying when you spend $200 on a camera and the camera just doesn't focus correctly. And I know there's going to be people that are like gurus with the camera that just know how to fix it. And even though I Google search everything, I can't fix it. But we need to get through the super chats because we're like 10 minutes behind. Felix, what's up, brother? What's up, my man? I really appreciate you. Puka Nacua or Aaron Jones. That's a fucking tough one. I am going to go, even though this is tough, rock solid, we are going to go with that just sounded disgusting. Fuck. That's so tough. I'd go Aaron Jones over Puka. But you'd want to have both in your lineup, but I'm going Aaron Jones personally over Puka. That's a really tough one. We're going Aaron Jones. Lee Haller, thank you for the super chat. When she holler, let her go. Pierce or Monty? Great question. Again, with how bad the offensive line is of the Texans, you just kind of have to go with Monty at this point. I'm happy Pierce had a great game last week. I think things are going to be positive maybe in the future, but this week you've got to go Montgomery Lee. So Montgomery over Pierce. Next question here from Christian Woodard. Thank you again for super chatting. I believe you were here last week as well. Would you trade A.J. Brown or Chris Olave for Waddle? No. I am a Jaylen Waddle guy. I got the Dolphins hat on. We got Dan Marino in the background. My fiance painted me a picture of the Dolphins logo, right? I'm a Dolphins guy here on out. I think the Dolphins are going to lay the pipe down to the Bills. But I'd rather have Chris Olave and A.J. Brown over Waddle. Again, Olave is the clear number one in New Orleans. It doesn't feel like Michael Thomas is really biting into that as much as I thought he could have. And then A.J. Brown, I get he's hit or miss some weeks, right? But the upside's just too strong. So I'd rather have A.J. Brown or Chris Olave over Waddle. Coda, thank you for the super chat. Full PPR, pick a flex. Nico Collins, Christian Watson, Jacoby Myers, Mike Evans, Alexander Madison, Jerome Ford, and Sam Laporta. So we are going to go ahead here and go with full PPR, pick a flex. Fuck. This is another tough one. It's between two guys. It's between Watson and Ford for me. Ford's going up against the Ravens. Watson going tonight against the Lions. Oh, man. This is going to be the one where I'm going to say the wrong name, and I'm going to feel like, and you're going to be like, oh, Nick, this guy's an asshole. Couldn't get my question right. I think they're both going to do good. I'm going Jerome Ford. Jerome Ford's been too hot to sit. Jerome Ford. Next question from Zambino. Thank you for the super chat, my man. Goddard or Musgrave, Javonte or Ford? Zambino, I am going with Dallas Goedert at the tight end. I know he has not lived up to expectations so far, but obviously they've got A.J. Brown, they got Devontae Smith. There's a lot of cooks in the kitchen there in Philly. I'm going with Goddard, though, over Musgrave. Just feels safer, and they have similar upside. And then Javonte or Ford. I love Javonte against the Bears, but we are going with Jerome Ford again. Too hot to sit. Thank you, Ty. I appreciate that. Jay, thank you for the super chat. Do I trade Ramondre for Amari Cooper? Running backs and Cooper. Who's the other Cooper? Talking about Cooper Kupp. Let me see if he typed anything else. I'm waiting for the chat to load in because there's a million of you guys here, which means the world to me. I really appreciate you guys. Second part of the question, Lee, would be Hollywood or Tank Dell? I'd go Tank Dell, Lee. All right, so Jay's question, do I trade Ramondre for Amari Cooper? Yeah, I would do that. You have good enough running backs, and hopefully JT gets traded. I would do that. I just feel way more comfortable with Amari Cooper at this point with how the Patriots are treating Ramondre Stevenson. It's not right, but that's just how it goes. So yeah, I would rather have Amari Cooper. And if you're getting Cooper Kupp with it, even better. Even better. I'd go with Zach Moss, Samuel. Next question here. Anthony, Gibbs or A-Chain? That's tough. I'm going Gibbs. Again, I think Gibbs's workload is not going to be as high tonight, but he's going to catch some passes. It's a decent matchup against Green Bay in terms of the run game, maybe not against the pass. So let's go Gibbs over A-Chain, personally. Everton, thank you again. Flex Lockett or Collins, and then Fields or Richardson. I thought I answered that for you, so I apologize if I didn't answer it correctly. I would go Richardson over Fields 100%. I don't trust Fields worth anything, so Richardson, and then I would go with Lockett over Collins 100%. So Lockett over Collins, and then Richardson over Fields. David says, pick 2. Thank you for the super chat. Pick 2, Jerry Jeudy, Christian Watson, Michael Thomas, Adam Thielen, Terry McLaurin. That's that question in week 1. You'd be like, oh, assuming Christian Watson's there. It's like, oh, you just play Jerry Jeudy and Christian Watson, right? But now it's week 4, and some crazy stuff's been happening. We got Adam Thielen in a revenge game up against the Vikings, and Adam Thielen was just force-fed the rock in back-to-back games. We're going Adam Thielen, and we are going Christian Watson. So Christian Watson and Adam Thielen for you, Mr. David. Thank you for the super chat. PPR, I need a running back 2, wide receiver 2, and a flex. Kyron Williams, DeAndre Swift, Aaron Jones, T. Higgins, Pittman. A running back 2, wide receiver 2, and a flex. Great question. So you're going to go at running back 2. You're going to go Aaron Jones. You are going to go T. Higgins. You're going to go Aaron Jones, T. Higgins, and DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift and Kyron are close. Higgins and Pittman are close, but ultimately I lean Higgins and Aaron Jones and Swift. Those are some real good players, though. Christian Gonzalez, thank you for the super chat. Got Fields. Who do I drop for Jordan Love, Tutu, or Pickens? Who do I flex? Gabe Davis or Rashad White? Start Mixon or A-Chain? Great question. All right. So I would drop Pickens for Love. No, I wouldn't. I think I would drop Tutu because once Cooper Kupp shows back up, Tutu is going to be useless. So we're going to go drop Tutu. I would start Gabe Davis over Rashad White. Rashad White just has a bad matchup. And then I'm going Mixon over A-Chain. So I'm dropping Tutu. I'm playing Love over Fields. Drop Tutu, play Love, play Gabe Davis, and play Joe Mixon. Thank you for the super chat. Wesley says, I love this picture with your fish. I think I said that last week too. I picked up Laporta off the waiver. Should I play him instead of Waller? This is a good question. So I'm going to give it to you real quick, short and sweet. If you want safety, if you want to guarantee yourself 10 or more points, right? If you can personally accept that your team might get destroyed, might get a little bit torched by you playing Waller, then you can play Waller. I'd personally go with Laporta, though. At this point, I trust Laporta way more than Waller, and he's got a good matchup tonight up against the Packers. So I'd go with Laporta over Waller. Mr. Wesley, thank you for the super chat. PV says flex Garrett Wilson or Tank Dell. I'm sorry to tell you this. Even in a tough matchup against the Steelers, I'm playing Tank Dell over Garrett Wilson. I don't trust Garrett Wilson at all. I hope Trevor Siemian comes into the game because then maybe the Jets will have just a fucking inkling of life. But right now, they have no life right now. The Jets are dead in the water with Zach Wilson under center. There's apparently a mutiny going on in the locker room that doesn't trust Saleh anymore, so we're going Tank Dell over Garrett Wilson. EMAC is that guy. Thank you for the super chat. Ford or Montgomery? You're the man, by the way. No, you're the man. I really appreciate you. Ford or Montgomery? Again, I'm a Montgomery truther. I'm a Montgomery guy, but we're going with Jerome Ford F-150, baby. Jerome Ford, very safe recently. Ever since 9-inch Nicholas Chubb went down, Ford has been balling. I like Montgomery, but I'm playing Ford. You can't play this well in every single game and have me benching you. That's just how I feel. So I definitely go Jerome Ford over Montgomery. They are close in my rankings for sure. It's not like Montgomery is like levels below Ford, but I definitely go with Jerome Ford over Montgomery. Thank you for the super chat. I greatly appreciate it. 44 MSU. You need some props for tonight? Let me pull up the good old DraftKings. If you guys are, now I'm not going to even, they are a sponsor of the channel, but I don't want to say the thing because I don't also want to have to pop up all the legal mumbo jumbo on the team or on the screen. So I'm not going to actually mention that. You need some props for tonight. Let me just pull some up real quick, some that I like. I love if you're more of a risky gambler. I'm betting. I like Christian Watson touchdown. I like Christian Watson over yards and over receptions. I think Christian Watson's feasting tonight. And then I also like. There's one other line that I really like that I was looking at that I got to put in before the game. I also like Jordan Love over 1.5 passing touchdowns at plus 124. So there you go. Those are the ones that I like for tonight. Cameron, thank you for the super chat. Flex Monty, Flowers, or Godwin. I would flex Monty, Flowers, or Godwin. Oof, I think Godwin's going to finally have a big game. I like Flowers, right, without Odell. Like, they've got Nelson Aguilar they're throwing the ball to. But what you want to do is play Montgomery, but take Montgomery and put him in your running back spot, and then have your running back be in your flex spot in case they somehow get hurt in practice. So that's what I do. I'm playing Monty in half PPR. Ball BQ5. The fuck? I forgot how to read. Ball BQ5. Sorry about that. All right, back in focus, maybe. Maybe not. Doesn't matter, though. I'll just go invisible for a second and read your question. So, Bobby Q5, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate you a ton. Let's go with the question here. Wide receiver Hill, Diggs, Dell, Pittman, Higgins. Running backs are Mostert, Connor, ETN, Ford, Kyron. Tight end Laporta, quarterback Allen and Kirko. Dallas defense playing against JJ and Hawkinson. 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and 1 tight end. All right. So for your receivers, you need 2. You're going Hill and Diggs. Don't overthink that one. For running backs, you're going ETN and Mostert. Okay. So now we got to figure out how to start a quarterback, Josh Allen or Kirko. You're going up against JJ and Hawkinson. To be honest with you, since you're going up against JJ and Hawkinson, I'm going to be honest. The Dolphins versus Bills game might be super high scoring, right? The Bills might put up 1 million fantasy points. But I'm going to be honest with you. I really think that I looked at my phone. I lost my train of thought. I think that game might be lower scoring than people think. So I'm going to go Kirko Chains over Allen. So we're going to go Kirk Cousins, Hill, Diggs, ETN, Mostert, and your flex is going to be Kyron. No, it's going to be Ford. So I'm going to say it again one more time. Sorry. Quarterback, Kirko Chains. Your receivers are going to be Hill and Diggs. Your running backs are going to be Mostert and ETN. And your flex is going to be Ford with Kirk at quarterback and Laporta at tight end. Thank you for the super chat. Rayafari Cooper says, should I start Christian Watson tonight? Yeah, I think Christian Watson's going to have a pretty big game, if I'm being honest with you. I like Christian Watson a ton tonight. I think it's going to be, again, I just believe heavily in Christian Watson, the player. I think he's good. I think he's a very, very good player. Benjamin Rooney, thank you for the super chat. Let me see if Start Mixon or Tutu in the flex. I would go with Mixon. That was your question? Yeah, I would go Mixon over Tutu. I like Tutu a ton, but I definitely go Mixon. I would go Mixon. Mixon or Tutu at the flex. Joe's going against... I know he's going up against the Titans' run defense, but I feel like they are going to just play good enough for Mixon to be fine. I don't have Mixon ranked super high this week, but I also don't have Tutu ranked super high. Tutu's been running hot. I don't know if he's going to continue to run that hot. So I'm going to go with Mixon. I just think he's safer. But thank you for the super chat. Tyler Medeiros. You rock, I think is what that says. Thank you. I do rock. I appreciate that. I'm like kidding. Thank you, though. I really do appreciate it. And I just accidentally fucking closed out of the chat that I was trying to scroll back and read, so that's just great. That's just all fine and dandy. So thank you, Tyler. I really appreciate that. You rock as well. One dose creator. Let me go to the stream to find your question. I accidentally clicked out, which is annoying because it might be hard to find your question now because of a lapse in judgment from me. We still got a while until the game start, though, so we're fine. We're fine to chillax right now, and I'm catching up on super chats. Let's see. Make sure you guys hit the like button on the stream. It really helps out a ton. Pop out chat. Appreciate you guys all stopping by the way. Oh, shit. One. All right, let's see. All right, Watson or A-Chain in one league, and Watson or Tank Dell in another league. Also, Freiermuth or Henry. Good questions. I'm going Watson over A-Chain. I'm going Watson over Tank Dell. And I'm going Henry over Pat Freiermuth. So Watson over A-Chain, Watson over Dell, and then Henry over Freiermuth. I just don't really like Freiermuth, if I'm being honest with you. Dorothy, thank you for the super chat again. I really appreciate you. Did you ask another question? Really appreciate you. I like that emoji too. So Watson, Ridley, or Smith? Oh, you need two. Okay, thank you. I would go. I'm going Ridley and Smith over Watson. Ridley and Smith over Watson. My bad. I'm so sorry. You didn't need to specify. That's on me. I should have understood the questions better and given you two receivers. So that's actually on me. I really do apologize. Sorry. So yeah, I would go with Smith and Ridley personally. I don't think you can sit Smith, and I think Ridley's bouncing back. That's what I feel. I don't know. I don't think they're going to limit Watson's snaps. Maybe they will, though. Maybe you're right. I mean, it wouldn't be that crazy, but I haven't seen that. Christian Watson Roto World. Let's see. And we also finished all the super chats, so shout out to everyone who super chatted. I really appreciate you. 84 productions. DK Metcalf or Godwin Metcalf. Derrick Henry over 67.5 or 67 yards. I actually do like that. I think that's going to be a better game for Derrick Henry, hopefully. Packers will be cautious with Watson's workload. You are right. This could serve as an immediate red flag. I'm going to be honest with you. I think Watson's going to still play a lot. Like, maybe I'm just too ambitious, but I don't think they're going to be like, sure, they're going to be cautious. That's what they always say. Oh, we're going to be cautious. And then the fucking game starts, and then he's out there a million different times. So, I don't know. If you want to be cautious, then go ahead and bench him, right? If you want to be super safe, but I'm more of a risky player. I already bet a bunch of stuff on Watson. I believe in him. Ertz or Pitts? I would go Pitts. Guys, I need help. I'm 0-3. I'm being offered Saquon for Waddle and Ford or Tyreek. Yeah, I would do Waddle and Ford and get rid of Saquon. Thank you, brother. The only change I made was Ford for Connor, and I feel like I might have to do that anyways. Yeah, I would definitely play Ford over Connor. Thank you for the super chat. Rock out with your cock out. Two flex, Javonte, Dobbs, McLaurin, or Ayuk. Great question. I would go Ayuk and Javonte, assuming that Ayuk plays. What seems like basically a lock at this point. Javonte and Ayuk. 100%. Javonte and Ayuk. Cold cuts. Rachaad White, London, Jalen Warren, Reed, or Roschon Johnson for the flex. Oh, man. I don't like Rachaad White this week against the Saints. I just don't. The other options are tough. I'm not playing London in London. Maybe that's a key right there. London in London. He's going to have a big game. I'm going Jaden Reed, even though he's going to be the number 2 or 3 receiver tonight for the Packers. I just can't. I'm not starting Rachaad White. I don't like Roschon this week. Reed's the only one to where I feel confident enough to even start him. So I'm going Jaden Reed, 100%. No, I actually do interact with everyone outside of super chats, but the problem is when there's super chats that people pay for, I answer them. You can leave if you want. It's not a big deal to me, but damn, man, I lost one person. I'm gonna go bankrupt, right? I try to answer as many questions as possible. I'm not trying to be a dick to you, but I mean, you can tell, right? People pay for these things, and I try to answer as many questions as possible. I do really appreciate all you guys, genuinely. So, Montgomery or Davis, Burrow or Richardson? Let's see here. Montgomery or Davis? I play Montgomery. Burrow or Richardson? I'm playing Richardson. Starting Montgomery or Watson tonight because I'm feeling frisky. Do I start Burrow or Anthony Richardson? I'm going Richardson, Tony. Rock out. Playing Love over Burrow. Personally, I'm playing Burrow, right? If it's my fucking team, I'm playing Burrow. But I get why people don't trust Burrow, right? He hasn't been good the first 3 games. He's playing banged up, and that's very evident. The Titans' defense is bad. They are very, very bad against the pass. So I would play Burrow. But I get if you want to play Love. And let me look at my rankings. Because, again, I do my rankings. My rankings do kind of adjust how I feel, but I also do have opinions that in some situations can outweigh the rankings. I kind of rank where I feel like they're going to finish, but sometimes I feel a little bit more ambitious. For instance, I have Joe Burrow as quarterback 10 and Jordan Love as my quarterback 14. So I would play Burrow, even if it's risky. If you want rock out, you want to play the safe option, right? You're scared of getting screwed over, just play Jordan Love. But if you're more risky like myself, we're going Joe Shiesty. Courtney, David Montgomery or Joe Mixon? I would go Mixon. Jaden Reed or Michael Thomas? Michael Thomas. I'm playing Cousins over Burrow. I would too. Mark Andrews or Laporta? Non-PPR Mark Andrews. Hand or over covering eyes emoji. Is that the dab emoji? Let me see. People love the dab emoji. No, it's not. I thought it was, though, for a second. That was the... how do we see your rankings? They're available on Patreon. It's $7.50 a month. I would make it free, but then I would have to make like a whole website and everything. And also, YouTube doesn't pay as good as you guys probably think it does. Not to be like you guys are stupid or something. You guys aren't stupid, but you probably think that I get more money from YouTube than I do. So that's why they're paid for. Just to be honest with you guys, right? I try to be very honest with you guys about everything with the channel. Just making sure I read every single super chat. There's been 52 tonight, so I really appreciate all you guys. I love you guys. Freiermuth or Musgrave, I would play Freiermuth, but it's basically a 50-50 split. I would like to as well, DC. All right. Samuel Piazza, thank you for the super chat, my man. Are those the fucking eggs from Game of Thrones? Am I crazy for saying that? Is anyone looking at his profile picture? Is that what we're looking at here? Let's see. All right, let me just, yeah. Oh, it is. It is. I knew it. I'm such a genius. I was about to look up. I was trying to Google on the other screen a picture of the eggs from Game of Thrones. That's so funny. Thank you. So Fields or Stroud? Considering cuz Broncos low. Okay, let me just be honest with you, Samuel. I play fantasy football very risky. I don't really go for safety. I'm going for as much upside as possible. I am just hunting for straight upside. For you guys, I give you guys more like balanced answers. That's why sometimes I say, hey, if you want the safety, you go this guy. If you like the upside, go the other guy. Right? I think that's a very fair way to do things. Some people just want a straight up answer, but I think it's fair to give two answers to things and have you understand things. If this is my team, I'm playing Justin Fields, fully understanding he might literally just suck. Eberflus is terrible. They need to fire him out of a trebuchet, like it's some old school type deal. If you know what a trebuchet is, it's one of those old cannon type things. So I'm playing Fields because Stroud is playing against the Steelers. The Steelers' defense is hard. Like, Stroud is going to struggle. That offensive line is bad. They're banged up. I don't think Tunsil's going to play. My boy, former Dolphins legend Tunsil. So I'd go Fields. I think going forward, yeah, you're going to probably want to play Stroud most games. But this week, I'm going Fields. Fins up to you as well. Let's have a huge win this week against the Bills. Thank you for the super chat. I'd go Fields. Tank, Dell, or Watson? I'd go Watson. What's up, Nikki? Pick 3, Ridley, Higgins, Addison, Tutu, Myers, or D-Hop. Ridley, Higgins, Addison. All right, look. Anyone that's worried about Christian Watson, if you are really worried, you're thinking, you know what, Watson's going to, because the report is Watson's going to be limited. That's the report. I'm still playing Watson in a majority. If I had Watson, I'm fucking playing him because I think that the limited, most of the time, he goes out there and they're like, oh, he's limited. And then he's just out there the whole game, right? Or he's playing way more snaps than you think. If they go down to the Lions, they're not taking Christian Watson out. And you don't just activate the guy for him to just go stand out there unless he's like Julio Jones or something. Christian Watson, like, I don't know. I think Christian Watson's going to have a good game. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe tomorrow you guys are going to come on the YouTube channel, the comment section, just blasting me about Christian Watson. But I think Watson's going to play good. Steelers or Seahawks defense, I'd go with the Steelers. One second. Let me just make sure I didn't miss any questions on Patreon real quick. I'm still trying to answer as many questions as possible. All right, there's nothing else on Patreon. Yo, if y'all could help me out, trade Watson for Ford straight up. Yeah, I'd ask for a +1 with Ford, personally. Is Romeo Dobbs a start? Not with Watson playing. 2, Connor, Kyron, Herbert, A-Chain. I'd go with Kyron and A-Chain. Start Love over Lawrence. This is another one of those. Romeo Doug. Yeah, I know what he meant. This is another one of those where it's like, DJ, you want to guarantee yourself a decent game, play Love. If you're willing to let your heartstrings fucking potentially get destroyed get pulled by Lawrence, then play Lawrence. I would play Lawrence personally, but again, I'm more risky. So if you want to be safe, play Love. Bill, what's up, my man? Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Lamar versus the Browns or Geno versus the Giants. I'd play Lamar. Connor, A-Chain, Barkley, Demont, Thielen, Davis, D-Hop. Pick 2 running backs and 1 flex. PPR 12 team. Thanks. Great question. Thank you, Bill. Really appreciate you. Connor, A-Chain, Barkley, Demont, Thielen, Gabe Davis, D-Hop. Ooh, 2 running backs and a flex. 12 team PPR. All right, if Barkley plays, you can't sit Barkley. You just can't sit him if he plays. I don't think he's going to play, but all these reports now are talking him up like he's going to play. So I'm starting to push towards the fact that Barkley may play. So Barkley, and I would go, I'm going to have to move A-Chain up the rankings because there's no way I'm playing fucking Connor over A-Chain. I would go Connor. No, I'm going A-Chain and Barkley. Oh, actually, never mind. You don't even have to play A-Chain. That is my bad. I failed at reading, I guess. You're going to go Barkley and Demont. If Barkley doesn't play, you go A-Chain. Barkley and Demont. Barkley doesn't play, you go A-Chain. Your 1 flex is going to be Adam Thielen. He's in too good of a matchup to sit him. So you're going Thielen. You're going Barkley and Demont. If Barkley does not play, you're going A-Chain. Thank you for the super chat. Lamar versus the Browns. Yeah, I'd go Lamar. Walker or Swift rest of the season? Swift. I'm gonna lose it when AJ Dillon scores a touchdown. Of course he will. Of course he will. We all know that, right? We all know that this guy AJ Dillon stinks, and that's just what he's gonna do, right? He's gonna show up when after weeks of us playing him because Aaron Jones isn't there, the guy is going to go balls deep in that defense and have a huge game. We already know that. We already know. Picked up Love an hour ago. I like that. Yeah, even if Lawrence is mid right now, like I get why people are mad at him. There's people that have asked me, like, do I cut Lawrence? Do not cut Lawrence off your team. Please don't do that. What time does this game start real quick? I know I just made myself fucking like a dark corner guy over here. NFL. Is it 8:15 or is it 8:20? 8:15. See, I think, I don't know what it is, which is which. And again, of course, I do this and we come back and we're like this. Good night, Can Man. But now I just forgot what I was going to say. Oh, they switch it up on us. Like Thursday's 8:15, Sunday's 8:20, Monday might be like 8:30. They switch it up on you every day. Makes it very confusing. We might have to start going live on Mondays as well. But I feel like not a lot of people have questions on Monday. But I just like talking to you guys. Just fun. Just a fun time. But Monday night is like my busiest night. Dong Juan Tony Lee. Thank you for the super chat, my man. I really appreciate you. Shout out to Nick. You answered my questions twice, even though they weren't super chats. That's awesome. Question is Moody or Elliott at kicker? What is your kicker strategy? My kicker strategy has not played out well this year. This year I was finally like, you know what? I'm going to go 2 rounds early on a kicker, or 1 round early. Normally I wait until the last 2 rounds to take a kicker in defense. I was like, this year I'm going to get a little cute in my league. No one was taking kickers. I'm like, I'm going to get Daniel Carlson in the 13th round instead of the 15th round. And I took Daniel Carlson, and he stinks. So my kicker strategy has been way off. The ideal strategy for a kicker is to be on an offense that can move the ball to like the 30, and then they go limp, and they don't do anything. Right? So you get in field goal range, you get that like 40-yard kick, you get your 4 points, and they do it a couple times a game, and you're happy. But there are also teams that, like Elliott, who's on the Eagles are, in my opinion, one of the best offenses in the NFL, and still, Elliott's out there dominating. Moody, I believe, is the kicker. Let me just make sure, for the 49ers. The 49ers are another good team in which the kicker keeps playing very well. So my thought process is a little fugazi because these good teams are still kicking. That's basically a coin flip. If it was gun to the head, Nick, you got to pick, which it kind of is here, $5, $4.99. I'm going Jake Elliott. I just trust Jake Elliott a little bit more. I think that matchup against the Commanders defense wakes up a little bit. They force them to kick. The 49ers have a way easier matchup. I don't think they'll be kicking as much. So I'd go Elliott. DJ Horton. Horton, here's a who. Thank you for the super chat. And again, I'm not making fun of you. It's just a fucking joke off the top of my head. So I hope no one takes that way. When I say something about their name, they're like, oh, is this asshole making fun of me? No, I'm not. I just say what comes off the top of my head. Pick a flex between Monty, Watson, Ford. I have A-Chain and Williams at running back, and Atwell and Jefferson at the wide receiver already. Pretty easy for me. We are going Jerome Ford. I think Jerome Ford, again, we keep playing these guys that are on fire, that keep playing well, and so we just have to play Ford. He's looked really good ever since Chubb went down. He even finished as a top 10 running back in the game that Chubb went down, and he was barely even in that game. So I would definitely go ahead and play Ford over Watson and over Montgomery. Tyler, thank you for the super chat. Montgomery or Mixon. That's a good one. Personally, I would lean with Mixon. I get Mixon's playing against a tough defense, but I think Joe Burrow dumps the ball off a little bit. So, yeah, I think Mixon's going to be fine. I think Montgomery's fine. I think I just lean with the guy that I feel like has more guaranteed touches this week. With Montgomery coming back, I'm playing him in all the leagues I have him. I'm just being honest with you. I'm playing him, but there's a chance that he doesn't get as much production as I would hope. Whereas Mixon, he's getting a lot of carries, so I'm going with Mixon personally. I would lean Mixon over Montgomery. Thank you for the super chat. What's up, Tater Toddy, baby? What's going on? Zombino says, Gibbs or Ford? Half PPR. That's a good question. Gibbs' value decreases slightly with David Montgomery. I think, though, I don't want you guys trading away Gibbs. A lot of people have been panicking about Gibbs. Gibbs, to me, feels like that late season hammer, right? That late season guy that comes out of nowhere like an RKO for Randy Orton and just dominates late in the season. But this week and this week alone, we're going Jerome Ford in half PPR. Same answer would be in PPR or in standard. I would go Ford. YKFGLB8. You know, field goal linebacker 8. Thank you for the super chat. 2 running backs and 1 flex. Josh Jacobs, Kyron Williams, Ford, Ridley, Tank Dell, Addison, Ray. Ford, Josh Jacobs. Oh, fuck. This is a tough question. Because I can't sit Ridley. So we're going Jacobs. We're going Ford. Actually, that's a lie. We're going Jacobs. We're going Kyron. Jacobs, Kyron, Ridley. Jacobs, Kyron, and Ridley is your answer. I love Ford, but I like Kyron better than Ford. And I can't sit Josh Jacobs. So Jacobs, Kyron, Ridley. Ridley bounce back game, hopefully in London. Shane, what's up, my man? I really appreciate you all the time. Hey, GOAT, who do you start at quarterback? Love, Burrow, Geno. You are in a tough pickle here. Not because your options are bad, but because every single option you just listed are good. And that's almost worse than having bad options. So right now, I have Burrow ranked as QB 10. Great matchup against Tennessee. Geno against the Giants. Great matchup on Monday Night Football in the MetLife at 12. And Jordan Love at 13. All inside a tier 3 at quarterback. So you can make an argument for any of these guys. Shane, I'm going to give it to you simple here. If you want to play the safest option possible, play Geno Smith tonight or on Monday night. Geno Smith's going to be perfectly fine. He's going to perform quite well against the Giants. He has been, actually, I'm going to be honest with you, the safest play is probably actually Jordan Love tonight. The safest bet's Jordan Love. If you're feeling for some upside, you're feeling like, you know what, maybe if my quarterback might suck, but I think he's going to carve it up. I would personally, if it's me, I'm playing Burrow. But if you want the safest option possible, right, you don't want to get screwed over, go with Jordan. Love me tender, love me sweet. That's my answer. Hunter, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate you. Pittman, Collins at the flex. Thanks for the weekly tips. No problem. I like both this week. I'm going Pittman with the return of Anthony Richardson. And the matchup for Collins isn't ideal against Pittsburgh. I just like Pittman better than Pittsburgh. I like Pittman better than Collins this week. Austin, Jay, thank you for the super chat. Who do I start, Tua or Fields? And then Kirk or Nico at flex? Great question. I'm going Tua over Fields. Again, I do think this Dolphins game is going to be more low scoring than people think. I think Tua probably throws 2 touchdowns here, though. Fields could be the quarterback 1, could be the quarterback 30. He could be the quarterback 33. They might bench him, right? He is that bad. This offense has been that bad. So I'm going with Tua. And then Kirk or Nico. I have Nico ranked higher. I think Nico's going to bounce back. I like Kirk's matchup a decent amount against Atlanta as well. But I'm going to stick with the heart, even against Pittsburgh, because of your question. And I don't love Kirk necessarily. We're going to go Tua and Nico Collins. Zach Dabney, thank you for the super chat. Start Love or Fields, Laporta or Ingram? Great question. We're going to go with Jordan, love me tender, love me sweet. And then we are going to go with Sam Laporta over Evan Ingram. Laporta and Ingram, both very safe options. They're both going to be good, but I'd go Laporta. And then Love over Fields by a quarter mile. Sawball says, am I crazy for keeping Puka as insurance? If Cup goes down, I own Cup. 100%. 100%. I think Puka is going to get a lot of usage even when Cup is back, just so you know. I think you can still start Cooper Kupp even when Puka returns. I think you start Puka when Cooper Kupp returns is what I mean. If you want to sell high on Puka, go ahead and do it right now. But I would keep Puka if I had Kupp because that really is some good insurance. And it's always nice to have an insurance policy, even at wide receiver. All right. Dorothy, thank you for the super chat again. I appreciate you. Why hype Watson up and prop and all, but not over Ridley and Devontae Smith? Because of the fact that there's the reports that that Watson might be quote-unquote limited. Now, again, do I believe that they are going to completely limit this guy, give him like 20% of the snaps? No. No, I don't believe it. But I know Ridley is going to be at 100%. And I know Devontae Smith coming off the injury is going to be out there basically 100% of the time. You are mitigating any risk with Watson. In some situations, you have to take that risk, right? People have asked questions where you got to take the risk. In betting, I'm not betting necessarily to be super safe, right? I just believe in the upside of Watson. So that's why I take the props, because I think he's going to score. But Ridley and Smith are significantly safer, in my opinion. Like, you know what Ridley's going to do. I know he's been bad the last couple of weeks, but you know what he's going to do. He's the #1 target on the Jaguars, and I think Lawrence bounces back. Smith, the #2 receiver with top 5 upside weekly on an Eagles offense going up against the Commanders. So yeah, while I like Watson, and while I'll tell a lot of people to start Watson, I'm definitely playing Ridley and Smith over Watson because of that slight risk that they don't play him as much as we want. So that's my opinion on things. I appreciate the super chat. I hope you understand where I'm coming from. I'm not like screaming at you or something. I might be loud because I'm a loud person, but that's just kind of how I talk. So I like Ridley. I like Watson, but I'm definitely playing Ridley and Smith over them because, again, you are limiting any chance of risk. Love or Kirk, play Kirk. Cam, thank you for the super chat. Lawrence or Love? Didn't Jason Tatum get hurt? I don't know. I thought he got hurt doing something. I hope he's okay. I don't like the Celtics, but I hope he's okay. Obviously, I don't want like a superstar to get hurt. I like watching basketball every once in a while. Lawrence or Love, have both stacks, Ridley and Watson. Cam, I'm going to give this to you in 2 ways. If you want to be safe, play Love. Love is very safe. Love is going to get you a guaranteed 15-plus points. Love is not going to shit the bed. Lawrence could shit the bed. I have Love ranked behind Lawrence. But if you want my actual opinion, I'd play Lawrence. I think Lawrence is going to play better against Atlanta. But if you want to be super safe, go Love. And you have both stacks. Personally, I think Love is way safer, though, if you want to just go with the safety. Should I start Stevenson or Montgomery? Stevenson, Pierce, Sanders, Najee, Robinson, what two? Sanders and Robinson. Tank Dell or Watson? Watson. Montgomery or A-Chain? Montgomery. Amari, Pittman, Tutu, Judy, and Garrett Wilson. I would go Pittman and Amari. Shane, thank you for the super chat. Goat flex. Moss, Montgomery, Ford, or Watson? Wilson or Woods? Great question. Kyle, go with Gibbs. That's a tough one. That's a really tough one because I like... Oh, my fucking computer's frozen. Hopefully we're still here. Okay, we are still here. Personally, I would have to go with Moss. Again, Moss, another one of those guys that's just been on fire. I like to play the guys that are on fire. Shit, I don't think I can play Jaden Reed this week because what's his name is back. So we're going to switch him out for Josh Downs. I'm glad I checked my lineup though. 2 minutes before the game started. So yeah, I'd go Moss. 100% I would go Moss. Moss has looked really good. I'm shocked that the Colts look this good. I'm shocked that Zach Moss looks this good. I thought Zach Moss was a certified bum. But he's actually been playing quite well, so I would definitely go Zach Moss. Because, oh, sorry about that. Am I back? Sorry if it lagged. I would go Zach Moss. I would go Zach Moss for sure. Zach Moss, 100%. Nick, do you think the Lions win the game tonight? I think everyone thinks the Lions are going to win, which tells me that the Packers are going to win. Even though off the top of my head, if I had to bet, I would say the Lions would win. But because everyone else thinks that, I think the Packers are going to end up winning. I hope you understand that thought process. The Carolina Nurse, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate you. Watson, Breece Hall, or Hopkins? I would go with Watson. I would go Watson. And if you can't lock it in time, I would go Hopkins if you can't get Watson in. But definitely Watson, 100%. 100% Watson. Ah, shit. I hope Higbee plays. Damn, that sucks. Because I didn't switch in here. It is what it is, though. Thank you for the super chat. I hope you were able to get Watson in. And then the bigger man, thank you for the super chat. Trade Raheem for Amari Cooper. My running backs are Saquon and Connor. I won't have a running back 2 to play Sunday, but maybe worth. No. I'd keep Raheem. Raheem is just looking too good to get rid of him. I know Amari Cooper played well, but you cannot get rid of Raheem Mostert. You just can't. Because if this Dolphins offense is a straight up wagon like they've been looking, you're going to feel foolish if you get rid of Raheem. So don't get rid of Raheem. Especially if like Saquon doesn't play, you're like screwed this week. And while like I get, if you lose this week, like it's not that big of a deal. At the end of the day, at the end of the season, if you're sitting there and the reason why your season's over is because you didn't play a running back too, you're gonna be pissed. So I'm definitely going with Raheem over Amari Cooper. I'm sticking with Raheem. I would not trade him personally. I mean, he's the running back 1 of the season right now. Achane or Montgomery, I would have played Montgomery. Nicky was a super chat magnet today. Love to see it. Love to see it, Tyron. Thank you guys all for watching. Achane or 2-2. I'd play 2-2. Do you like the trade of trading Mostert for Eckler? Yes, I would do that. Should I start Mostert or Lockett? Mostert. Javonte, Mostert, B-Rob, Judy, 2-2, and Garrett Wilson need 2. Mostert and Javonte. Traded Mostert and 2-2 for A.J. Brown. I think that's fine. Javonte Williams, Ford, Tank Dell, or Jerry Judy in the flex. I would go with Jerome Ford. Adams and Kyron Williams for Ridley and Bijan, but he has Mostert. Yeah, I would do that trade if you're getting Ridley and Bijan. So thank you guys for watching the stream. I really do appreciate you guys. Make sure you hit the like button on the way. We got 69 super chats today. Very nice. I like. Shout out to all you guys. I really do appreciate you guys. I love you guys all so much. Fucking camera's out of focus as per usual. But thank you guys so much. We'll be back on Sunday morning with a live stream. Video coming at you tomorrow. Video coming at you on Saturday. What do I do with Garrett Wilson and Darren Waller? You hold Darren Waller and you hope that for some fucking reason the Jets get a new quarterback. I already left it. I'm just gonna leave it. Oh, all good, man. Yeah, Tyron, I'll get to your question next stream. I apologize for not getting to it. There was a lot of questions today, and I want to go watch the game, but I do appreciate you. I appreciate all you guys in chat. Here, Tyron, don't leave yet, though. Let me mod Tyron, because Tyron's always in the chat. Tyron's been here for a while as well, so I appreciate Tyron. He gets moderation capabilities. So I appreciate all you guys for watching the stream. I love you guys all. Let's have a good game tonight. Have a great one. Brandon Cooks or Quentin Johnson or Elijah Moore. I'd play Elijah Moore. Love all you guys. See y'all tomorrow. Or on Sunday night or Sunday morning. Love you guys.